Welcome back to the show. This is Robin Minds. We've been having an amazing time in the show. We just finished the segment with Clean the Drunk, and it was truly amazing. And for the last segment of this show, we will be taking in focus the creative industry. Trust me, Nigeria has seen a boom in the creative industry in the past years. We've seen the uprising of musicians, actors, photographers, and this has caused a huge boom in the economy. It has made us stronger. Very recently, we all know that our Nigerian artists from Wizkid to Wizkid, Yemi Alade, Techno, they were all featured on Beyonce's Lion King album, which basically shows that our creative industry is getting recognized all over the globe. With me in the studio to discuss how far we've gone in the creative industry, I have a photographer extraordinaire. She's very educated. She has a lot of degrees to her accolades. I cannot start to mention all of it. She is also the former Oyo State Governor's official photographer. She's a certified international documentary photographer. Ladies and gentlemen, Tolani Alli. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Wow, I like your dressing.
Thank you.
What's going on?
I wear this hat all the time. It's like I wear it everywhere I go. It just became a thing, and everyone just called me the hat, and I just took it up and.
So now the brand is the hat.
The hat, exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So you were a former photographer for the Oyo State Governor.
Yeah.
How has that journey been, being a former photographer for the governor, and right now you're doing your own thing, you're pushing photography to the next level. I know you've been doing a lot of tours in and out of the country, and you've been showcasing your work. How has the transition been?
It's been pretty amazing. I think having that, obviously under your belt, and working in that kind of creative sphere where before myself it was Lukesh, the documentary photographer to Governor Fashola. There hadn't really been like a female in that industry, so having to do that and trying to break down walls and shatter glass ceilings in that department, it's been amazing going to different places, especially outside the country where people have never seen, they've never put a face to governance in Nigeria. So being able to see imagery and storytelling of how and what governance looks like, it's so amazing, and they're so appreciative of it, because before this, what they knew was Obama and Pete Souza, right? But now they're able to see what it is like in Africa. Like you don't have a drummer playing in the same place a governor is, or you don't go into a place where it's all beautifully decorated today and then tomorrow you're in the grassroots campaigning. Like they're just two different worlds here in Nigeria, which is beautiful, and that's part of our story, right?
Yeah.
And that's been really amazing, because I've seen that telling our story, right? You spoke about how Wizkid and Yemi Alade and Burna Boy were on Beyonce's album, right? But it's more about our story, right? Africa has a global industry. Like, we really don't know how we're perceived outside.
Yeah.
Oftentimes people try and come in and tell us what we should look like, or what we should sound like, or what they think we are. But I think it's on us to project that story differently, because we're truly talented, we're truly creative, and seeing that photography has opened that path for me and opened that door. The ability to showcase that on a different platform has been truly amazing, and I'm having a good time.
Great.
Yeah.
So when you said that you're showing the world what African governance looks like,
Right.
are you really showing them the true picture, or is it just the good side?
Yeah, no, everything as a documentary photographer, there is no pose moments, right? You can't tell a governor or a president to sit down and say, "Sir, let me take your photo." No, everything we're doing is actually happening. Like, we have to be thinking ahead of the curve. We have to anticipate those moments. So every story we're telling is the truth. There is no black and white, because when people come and they come to your government house and they see the way things are, and your pictures don't depict what you're showcasing, they start to ask you questions. Even internationally, you can't submit photographs for like awards if there is no truth to it, right? Normally they would like put like fraud on your name. So impressively, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I remember discussing with Pete Souza last year, who was President Barack Obama's photographer, and he was talking about how they can't do what we do. Like, you know how, they have like a structure, they have a time, they have everything, like, oh, this is what is going to happen. They know what's happening 20 weeks from now, right? But in Nigeria, there's a whole different ball game because our structure is different, our setup is different, our culture is different, right? So we showcasing that, they see the beauty in that and they truly appreciate it. And not only that, even people within the country finally know what FEC meeting is. They know
Yeah.
what NEC meeting is. They know
True.
what ESCO meeting is. Before that, you didn't know that there was an ESCO meeting every week. You didn't know governors had courtesy visits. You didn't know, like even now we've seen, even in the latest political dispensation of appointments,
Yeah.
photographers are on the list.
True.
In what world before would a photographer be on the list? Because before in Nigeria was
Yeah.
print immediately.
Print
Now
immediately.
people are believing in storytelling. They want their stories told. They want their images. They want that dispensation or whatever they are doing, their projects. They want that showcased to the world, and it's for us to tell the truth and let everyone see both the good and the
And the
bad
bad.
of governance and power.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's a new dimension that you've just shown us.
Right.
It's a new dimension. We never knew that that was an angle to photography because the cliche and the stereotypic angle to photography is you take pictures and people pay you.
Exactly.
And then with the rise of the high usage of Android phones and mobile phones,
right.
how has that affected the industry in respect to the exchange of cash? Like, are photographers making as much money on that scale? Because now everybody feels like, since if you have a mobile phone, you're a photographer. So
Right.
how have that has that affected the market?
Okay, so I always believe that it's just like when you go to a restaurant, right? When a chef makes a meal for you, right? You don't tell the chef, wow, your pots were amazing, right? You say your food was amazing, right? Because the pots are just the tools. And that's the same thing with the cameras. Like of your iPhone, your Android, your camera, everything is just a tool. I really believe that the art is truly in your eyes, right? Because you and I can take a photograph and there will be a difference. Because I'm a professional. I study this thing. This is what I live. This is my life, right? And you have someone, you just take, let me take this picture, right? And I think you will know the true from like people who are just doing it as an everyday thing, or and it hasn't. I don't. It hasn't really affected the industry because one of the things that mobile phone provides is that immediately you can have it, but you always want quality. You
True.
always want the best because
True.
at the end of the day, when you spend the money on your wedding, what's left? What's left? It's the phone, like the pictures. That's what's left. When you leave, when you're in government for 4 years or 8 years, after that, no one remembers you again. What are they using now to defend Obama against Trump? It's the imagery, right? If a governor comes and says, "Oh, a governor didn't do this," the governor can say, "Well, I have the picture of this, and this is what happened." So, imagery, right? I think quality is always going to be better than quantity, no matter how much you want to break it down. And I believe that with everything we're doing now in the creative industry, I think the value of photography is growing higher. People are starting to value us more. People are starting to see the need for us, why we're necessary, and why they need us to tell the story as professionals.